Alright, welcome everyone, if anyone is watching. This is Sean again, and this is Season 1, Episode 3, or Season 1, Race 3, however you want to say it, my team career mode on F1 2020, and we are running the Hanoi circuit, or the Vietnam Grand Prix. First Vietnam Grand Prix. Before we go into qualifying, we're going to just take a quick look at the R&D tree. So we have 700 resource points available to us at the moment. And I think I'm going to go with another durability upgrade, because those are always good to get. Always want to make a durable race car. And the department capacity has been reached, so I can't do that right now. And that's what happens when you're very early in the season. But I can get a upgrade for the chassis. So might as well take that opportunity. Any upgrade is a good upgrade, so we'll take it. It's coming from the Dutch GP. There you go. Get the list. We have a bunch of stuff that's meant to come in now. I should note, if we go to the progress history, we have lost a little bit of ground to AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo. Haas has gained on us a lot, seemingly. They made a big upgrade coming into this race. But we do have, as you can see, we have a bunch of stuff that is yet to come in. We have 2 minor upgrades that are meant to come in for China, 3 if you include the durability, and then 2 chassis upgrades. They're going to come in time for the Dutch GP. So we should be slowly making our way up the chart, fingers crossed, the next couple races. Until then, we are going to go to one-shot qualifying. So taking a while to load here, as always. Alright, so we are getting set for qualifying here in Vietnam. I've only run this track once. Well, when I first got the game, I did a time trial just to get used to the track for a little bit. Then I did do a race, though it was in the wet, and I played as Sebastian Vettel, and I won, which, you know, that's after starting from pole, so that's, you know, much different circumstances than what we're doing here. So, very intrigued to sort of see how all this goes. First conflict of corners here is something that I think is like very cool in theory, but it's also sort of really awkward at different points. It wouldn't shock me if in real life as I screw up the entire corner while I'm talking, it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe changed it a little bit after they hold the first race here. Maybe they'll make the pit exit a little wider, so the racing line comes right into the pit exit. Maybe they make the pit exit a little bit further to the left, just to give the racing line some more room. Can't hit the wall like that. Part of the roundabout, or this particular roundabout, is a little less awkward than the first couple corners, but a little easier to get the hang of once you get used to everything. Long, Baku-esque straight. Bends. Brakes a little too early there. So it looks like our pace now is we're basically qualifying right outside the top 10. It's sort of been true for, at least for me, my end of the garage of our team through the first 3 races.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Yeah, Tatiana didn't have the best qualifying run, but she did finish 16th after starting 21st in Bahrain, so we'll see if she can improve on that. Max Verstappen, I think the Red Bull upgrades finally showing through and showing the true pace of the Red Bull. Verstappen getting second. I feel like street circuits are more suited to their car anyway. So yeah, so it should be interesting. And yeah, the Red Bulls haven't really done much. No podiums on the first 2 races. Both had engine failures. I think Albon in Australia and Verstappen in Bahrain. So I'm sure they'll be looking to get a decent result. Albon's still on no points at all. Which, I'm sure if this was real life, they would not be happy at Red Bull about those results to open the season. Continues to load for a little bit. It's taking its time. There we go. Alright. So here we are. Another race distance. It's very similar to the previous couple races. 28 laps. Well, the other 2 were 29. This one's 28. Weather looks good. Late apexes for sure. Alright, so again, this is my first time running a race at Hanoi in dry conditions. So I really have no idea what to expect. Like I said, the only other race I ran here was in full wet conditions, start to finish. So yeah, I'm really not sure how well I'm going to do here, but I guess that's the part of the fun of it. So we'll see how it goes. We will see if we can score points again, or this will finally break our streak.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. It's a track that combines the bespoke design of a traditional race circuit with the tight, close barriers of a street track that our drivers race on today. 23 corners and a total distance of 3.4 miles. Watch out in particular for overtaking into the braking zone at turn 11. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas, and Albon, Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, and Sergio Perez. The owner-driver, Kvyat, Pierre Gasly, and Stroll, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell, Calderon, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Taking a little while to load, as always. As always.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Alright, we will try to do that, Jeff. Race strategy is actually calling for a 2-stop. So, it actually falls right in line with the strategy that we've been using for the first 2 races. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and edit the strategy. And change it around a little bit. We're going to do, of course, a medium tire stint, and then a soft tire stint at the end of the race. So do 8 laps, 12 laps, and 8 laps. That should work pretty well for us, I would say. Again, I always like to do that just so I can be on the fast tire right at the end of the race. Just feel that's the way to go, personally, if you're going to do 2-stop. Don't like the idea of being on the slow tire right at the end of the race, or whatever the slower tire is in your strategy that you're doing. Alright, let's go.
map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please. The drivers we're racing are Perez and Kvyat. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Yeah, the two guys are going to be wanting to keep an eye on this race are Perez and Albon, because I think they've been the real disappointments of the season so far. Neither one of them having any points. Like I said, the last race, I'd say Perez is probably the more disappointing because Albon had an engine failure in one of the races, and that's not something you can really pin on him. And if we look at the race director, let's see, pretty much everyone is on softs with the exception of the Williams cars. George Russell is on mediums, and Latifi is going to go for a long stint on the hard tires to start. But pretty much everyone else, apart from Williams, is on the soft tire. It will be interesting to see if anyone tries to make it a one-stop. So I don't know if we will see that, only because my strategy, both the choices were two-stop.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
Or both recommended strategies for two stops, and yeah, that would make me think that everyone's doing two stops, but we'll see. Very interested and going to be very sort of weary of turn one, just because it's such an awkward run to that first corner. It's just a sharp hairpin to the left. Not a full hairpin, but a very tight corner to start out the lap. Again, you got Hamilton and Verstappen on the front row, with the Ferraris behind them on row 2, and then Bottas and Albon on row 3. Row 4 is Ricciardo and Sainz. Row 4 is Norris and Ricciardo. Row 5 is Sainz and Perez. I'm on row 6 with Kvyat.
Keep an eye on the lights.
Gasly
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Into the unknown here for the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix. 5 red lights. And we're off. A really good start with the ERS by Sainz and Perez. Going to go to the outside. Little contact with Norris. Going to go really wide. Really didn't gain much there. Unfortunately, no damage as Sainz slips on her inside. Fend him off. And Perez moves to P10. So a decent start. I guess a good start considering our car. Gaining 2 spots right out of the gate. Well, Leclerc did not have a very good start. He was either 3rd or 4th, and he's fallen, about to fall to 6th. Well, I think Albon got a really good start because he was in 6th. And I think he is up to P4. So, good start for Albon, not so much for Verstappen. Good start for Vettel, he's up to 2nd as we are being in the slipstream of Norris. Trying to go to the outside if we can. Just trying to find room. Norris tries to dive to the inside. Ricciardo doesn't get anything there. We have Perez right on our tail as I clip the wall there. Yeah, this section, this weaving 3rd sector with all these twisting turns is very crucial control here, lap. So if you don't nail even a one, like, tiny part of it, it's going to be problems for you for the remainder of the lap. You're going to be in big trouble.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Will be a DRS straight very shortly once we get to lap 3.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm doing right now. Maybe we can get away from Perez a little bit. Very nice. Sainz is able to get by Perez. And then going side by side. He's going to help me. And I just noticed there is a slight error with the time display. There, it's showing incorrect lap times, or incorrect gaps, I should say.
DRS will be enabled this lap.
There we
You
go.
can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Fixing itself right there. I think that Sainz is going to have DRS on us. So to be fair, we are pulling away from Sainz on that straight. And actually, thankfully, we are not within DRS range of Sainz. That roundabout really helped us there to get away from him a little bit. Because these are all the, as we use up all the ERS we can. And it's sector 3. That's not good for that last corner. Yeah, another awkward spot is that last corner. I guess what makes it really awkward is that it's a very tight corner. There's no room for error at all. As I keep missing the corner. You would think with the racing line that would be okay, but... There we go, that's better. And we have a yellow flag. Somebody's got a problem. I think it's one of the Alfa Romeos. Is slow. I'm gonna take a rewind and see who it is. Oh, and actually... What is that? That is... Change camera. That is Kimi Raikkonen. They got way out of shape, made contact with Ocon. Lost Ocon lost a bit of his front wing, and that's stacked up everyone here. Giovinazzi is going to be able to get by Stroll while running over that piece of broken front wing. And it looks like Kimi is going to be done for the day in his Alfa Romeo. So perhaps those upgraded parts aren't working as well for Alfa Romeo as they might have hoped, as he's now pulled it off in the runoff area after turn 1. And he's done. He's out of this race, out of the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Carlos Sainz in our DRS range, so he is going to be coming on us very fast with a lot of speed. Gonna go to the inside just to force him to go to the outside.
Okay, keep on in. You might make a mistake.
We get to the chicane, I can outbrake him and maintain position.
Gap ahead is 2.6 seconds. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Gap to teammate behind is 12.1 seconds.
A lot of information there, Jeff. All at once. But thanks, nonetheless. Strategy. Lap 8.
Copy.
Keeping current. I think a good idea. Stick with what we got. That's a good plan, I would say. And again, Sainz right on our tail, and he's going to be coming. And so, Sergio Perez, who also has DRS, in the same situation again, as he's making a little bit of contact. Sainz. Well, that was not a good corner. Sometimes we'll turn in a little too early, run over the curbs, which is not ideal. At a hairpin like that. But there we go, that's a better corner, and we maintain position. Very hard to talk to these S's, just so challenging to navigate. So again, if you're not on it like there and incredibly precise, it's a challenge. Absolutely. Yeah, right there. So you're just getting offline. And once you get offline, it just screws up the rest of that section for you. You really need to be on it. That wall. I think that's gonna be. I was gonna say I'm not a champion yet, but I think that's gonna be the new wild champion.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Very difficult, very easy turn. Just smack the wall there. I'm coming off the corner. As far as the race for the lead goes, It's all very tight. It's really Hamilton, Vettel,
Our gap to the car in
Verstappen,
front is
Albon, and
3.6
Bottas,
seconds.
all in a tight pack together. Then Leclerc is just like really fallen off of them. He's a couple seconds behind that first group. Carlos Sainz just blows by me, as does Sergio Perez.
Tire condition is still looking good.
Somehow, whoa, ho, let's look at that again. So I sort of made a wild move to keep those spots. I'll say I had no DRS. See me come through here. Perez is on the inside. I see the gap just go on the inside of Sainz. Perez locks up. And that enables me just to hold him off. And then I make a big dive into the hairpin. Sort of push Sainz wide a little bit. But I did not make contact with him at all. Unless you can see in the replay. No contact made. And we get through. And then behind us, they get 3 wide. When Sainz just loses it. Not all the way. But he sort of gets out of control. Well, as out of control as you can get at such a low speed. Let's see from his view. Yeah, just got on the curbs there, and that really opened the door for Daniel. Daniel could be it. Steam up the inside, or steam through the middle, I should say. They can go 3 wide. I think he's going to be the benefactor because he's going to get the edge on Perez going into that next corner. And as we do that, we'll make a nice, cheeky little save here. Notice that the replay was freezing a little bit there, so it got me worried.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.6 seconds.
Actually, those guys behind us going side by side through that section is really gonna help us out. One thing I've seen with other videos and just great racing there, side by side, they somehow managed to keep it through that section. But the one thing I've seen with other races here, that I've seen on YouTube and whatnot, is that in cars, if you're in front of a pack of cars that starts to go side by side through this section of the course, you are just going to blow by them, or not blow by them, but pull away from them. Obviously, when they're side by side anyway, it's going to allow you to get away a little bit, but it's such a tight, narrow section of the course that enables you to get away a little bit. So, that means we now have a just over 2-second gap to Sergio Perez. Which is honestly something I've been looking to do for really since the start of the race, just get some separation from the guys behind me. So I'm not constantly under attack in this part of the course. Great for me is that Perez is going to come under attack with Danny Kvyat. 2 or 3 different ways to say his name, but nonetheless, that means And they're going to be battling side by side.
Green flag.
That's going to help me out. Oh no, we've had somebody, I think that's Lance Stroll. Looks like he's had an engine failure. Oh no, he crashed! Lance Stroll crashed. I've seen this in other videos, or other people when they've played this track, where if somebody gets up behind someone in this long back straight section, and once they get into the DRS zone, they can wobble, because the AI are capable of making mistakes this year, a lot more than they did in the past. And they've been shown to get out of shape and potentially wreck, and that's exactly what's happened here. Lance Stroll has just gotten out of shape, trying to pass Giovinazzi, and has just wrecked the car, going in a straight line. Well, not quite a straight line, but... Surprise! Oh, did he really just try to back it up on the straight? I don't think that's a smart idea. Let's look at the rear of Giovinazzi's car. Yep, just gets out of shape and hits the wall, spins off. Yes, so that's an interesting feature in the new game. Actually, a cool feature where the AI are capable of making mistakes. And it shows right there with Lance Stroll making a big mistake, obviously. Wrecking the car. I'm surprised he didn't. I think because the area is so narrow, that sort of saves him. Because he doesn't, in such a narrow area, it's hard. I guess it's harder for the wheel to come off in a crash unless they get hit by another car. So, at least he's lucky in a sense he's not out of the race, but he's been running way in the back at this point.
Now, we're boxing this lap.
And we actually did not have a good third sector there. That's able to Kvyat to gain some time on us. Which is not ideal. Actually, gonna do a rewind. Sequence could have been a little better. There we go, that's better. Higher wear.
Gap to car in front is 6.3 seconds.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I guess we'll see if this time by, if other cars start to dive into the pit. And they do. Hamilton pits, Vettel pits, Verstappen pits. So the front three, all pitting at the same time. Oh, actually, I missed a pit exit there. Completely forgot where the pit entry was. In any case, let's see what these guys do in the pits. Okay, so looks like Hamilton is going for the medium tires. Max looks like he's going for another set of softs. And Vettel is going soft. So I think actually looks like Vettel and Verstappen are running probably going to run mediums at the very end of the race, whereas Hamilton's doing what I'm doing and running soft in the middle, and then probably a soft stint in the end. I think we had some sort of incident back there. Let's see. I think somebody might have rear-ended somebody. Ooh! Ooh, somebody got hit. I think that was that Kvyat? It was, I think. Okay, so Perez was trying to go into the pits. And of course, Kvyat was on his outside. On the outside of the corner, but Perez needs to be on the outside to go into the pits. He makes contact with Kvyat, and Kvyat goes for a bit of a slide. And that will certainly cost some time, and obviously, look at that, already right there. Giovinazzi looking to his inside. But as far as the pit stops go, Perez and Sainz and Gasly hit pit road with me. Fortunately, because we are the last pit stall, we should be able to beat these guys out of the pits with no issues.
Go, go, go.
That we do.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
So looking at the race director, so Hamilton looks like to be doing the same strategy that I'm doing, unless he's trying to stretch that medium tire all the way to the end. Vettel, Verstappen definitely have to stop again. Ricciardo definitely has to stop again. I mean, we all have to stop again. But it looks like the only person who is going by the same strategy as me, where they're putting the mediums in the middle, is Hamilton. So that's interesting. So that means these other guys behind me are going to catch up to me, just solely based on the fact that they have fresher tires. Well, we all have fresher tires, but they have the softer compound tire. It's going to be helpful. It's going to be better for me at the end because I will be on the softer compound of the two, or the softer compound between the group of them racing. And yeah. And at this point, I guess my big hope. I mean, I know those guys are going to be a lot faster than me through these first couple of laps. My hope is that they start trying to pass each other down those DRS straights, which will in turn hold them up long enough for me to just gain a little bit of distance on them.
Tatiana is coming in for a stop.
see already Perez
Okay, gap
right
ahead is
on
8.5 seconds.
our tail. As is Sainz. And we're just going to try to hold on at this point. We know Perez is a lot faster. That being said,
The car ahead has come in and fitted the soft tyre.
Perez is unable to get the pass done. Let's just go through the running order here. So actually, Sebastian Vettel has managed to jump into the lead. I presume that's because, of course, they have their tires are, so they went with two softs to start out, and Hamilton went on to the medium tire. So that's sort of to be expected. Is Bottas on the hards? Bottas went for the hard tires. Huh, that's interesting. So the Mercedes is going for two entirely different strategies. I have no idea if Bottas is going to try to go to the end of the race. We'll see, I guess. Albon is soft. Leclerc is soft. And Giovinazzi, I don't think he's pitted yet. Ricciardo and Norris on soft. So, yeah. Looks like myself and the two Mercedes are the only cars in this top group, I guess let's say top 12 or 13, that did not put on soft tires on their first stop. And you see the soft tires paying off for Vettel right now, just set the fastest lap of the race. Giovinazzi into the pits, as expected. So he moved up place to the P9.
We're leading our teammate by 24.0 seconds.
And the first turn, so awkward. And Perez right on our tail. I'm surprised he was not able to pass us on that last lap. Go to the inside, or I guess outside. The lines in the corner change very quickly, so you're going left to right. Floor it, come around long back straight. Perez not even with DRS, so close to us already.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Sainz, actually, I think I might have clipped the wall back there. Maybe not, but I'll let it go right here. Sainz goes below him by, and he's going to have a chance to overtake Perez. Well, he's got the traction out of the corner. He might have him, and he does. Sainz vaults into P9 as he locks up, going into the corner. And those two are away. We were holding them up. They have been released. They are out of here. So Perez still close to Sainz. I expect those two will continue to battle unless Sainz just really rocks off, leaves Perez in the dust behind him. Fortunately for us, we were able to get DRS to stay in touch. Perez. still managed to maintain contact with Perez on this lap, the DRS. Now is where we start to fall behind, though. So we're going to be about a second. Just over a second behind Sergio Perez. We are going to fall out of DRS range. Spot right here.
Our gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds.
They've got Gasly behind us.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Don't know about that, Jeff. Don't know about that. Perez, or Gasly seems to be gaining to me. I guess my hope at this point is that Kvyat stays close enough to his teammates that he can get DRS on him, and they can battle down the long straight, and hopefully into the hairpin, which will enable me to gain a little bit of time on them. As for the running order up front, Hamilton has actually fallen into the clutches of Albon, and Albon has passed him. So right now, those non-soft tires the Mercedes decided to go on have not been faring well for them, at least right now. In fact, Bottas is actually falling into the clutches of Charles Leclerc for P5 in this race. So, this could be an interesting lesson for future races I run at Vietnam, and whether this strategy, well, not necessarily the two-stop, but presuming everyone in that lead group, as I hit the wall while I'm trying to talk, assuming everyone in that lead group has to stop again, I presume Bottas, I'm not sure. He might be trying to make it all the way. It's gonna be hard on those hard tires. I think Hamilton's definitely going to come in again. But are Vettel, Verstappen, and Albon going to put such a gap to him that basically right now, I guess what Vettel and Verstappen and Albon are doing is they're trying to build a gap to Hamilton so that when they pit, they won't be necessarily a whole 20 seconds behind. And let's not forget, Hamilton's on the medium, so he can go a little further. So Hamilton will inherit the lead, but at the same time, he'll be losing time to the cars behind. We're on technically fresher tires. So the flip side, of course, Hamilton, presuming he goes on to the softs to end the race, is probably going to be the fastest man on the track right at the end. It makes me wonder, if he will be able to get back up there and challenge for the win.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.0 seconds.
Right now, we should be focusing on our race. because we are losing ground to Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Still outside DRS range, which is good for us. But also Kvyat. Well, actually, I stand corrected. Kvyat is the one behind us, chasing us down. And Gasly's behind him. But the point I'm trying to get at is that Kvyat is outside of DRS range of me, and he is also, and Gasly's outside of DRS range of Kvyat. So nobody can gain the effect of that's just a terrible hairpin. Completely cut the corner. Right now, it's just all about pace, I guess.
We advise moving to Mix 2, fuel to Mix 2.
Trying to see if I could keep Kvyat outside of that 1 second barrier. I think I'm curious, because I don't know when the guys who pitted for softs are going to be pitting. Obviously, they're going to be pitting before me and Hamilton went on the mediums. I don't know when their pit window opens for them to come in. You would think it would be as I hit the wall. You would think it would be practically any lap now. Since I attempt to navigate through this final turn. Yeah, you would think it would be any lap now because they ran 8 laps on that first set of soft tires. And we're right about approaching 8 laps since the pit stops. So, I feel like these
car in front is 3.6 seconds.
Soft tire runners could be in any lap now, really. Either this lap or the next lap. As Daniel Kvyat is now within my DRS range. Don't think he's going to catch us by the time he gets to the hairpin. Looks like the leaders stay out this lap. And nobody went for the sauce that's pitted yet. Looks like I hit the wall a little bit there. Turned in a little too tight at that particular corner.
Tatiana is in the pits. Tatiana in the pits.
Tatiana's in for a second time. Kvyat just blows by. We're gonna go for switcheroo. Around the outside, we get him back. But I think he's going to have DRS on us. Oh no, he will have DRS on us. And honestly, I'm just going to let him go, I think. As now, I can see on the mini-map, Vettel and Verstappen are in the pits
No need
now.
to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Fiat did a great job walking there to the inside. We're going to come around the outside, power by him. Better traction on the outside of the corner. And we hold on, for now, to P11. Up ahead of us, looks like Ricardo
Perez is in the pits.
is in, Perez is in, and Sainz. As is Gasly. And oh no, looks like problems for my teammate. Does she have an engine failure? She might. Yep, unfortunately, it looks like Tatiana has suffered an engine failure. That might be a safety car. Because she's in a very precarious spot on the track unless she makes it all the way to the hairpin. Which it looks like she is going to do just as the leaders are coming through the area. Albon, the race leader, just blows by her. This is Hamilton. He's going to blow by Tatiana on the inside. Vettel gets by, or Leclerc, Bottas. So... fine job there by Tatiana just to get out of the way. Pulling way off course, out of the way of everyone else. Now, as far as I guess the strategy goes, it's going to be very interesting because Albon is presumably going to pit, which will give Hamilton the lead, and I presume he's going to pit a second time. Leclerc will have to pit a second time. Bottas is the interesting one because he's on hard tires, and Vettel is on hard tires as well, so I'm wondering if Bottas will also come into the pits at some point for soft tires. That should be an interesting one to follow. And I'm very curious with all this strategies towards the front of the field.
Yellow flag. Be aware, there's an incident in the next parts of the track. No.
Ah, Kvyat, you bastard. Looks like the Tatiana's retirement
Tatiana
is not
is out of the race.
not worthy of a safety car. This looks like we might have the first race of the season that does not have a safety car, as Kvyat dives into the pits as expected. Leclerc and Norris, it looks like, are in the pits now as well. Yeah, I think at this rate, Ricardo and Norris are so far ahead that we're not going to catch them in this race. As I just don't pay attention and I hit the wall. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. window does not open until lap 20. So, this next lap is when we will be coming into the pits. Actually, Giovinazzi is up to P10, so he is on softs as well, so I presume he still has to come in with tires. And Hamilton is in the pits. Lewis Hamilton in the pits. And I believe Hamilton will be going on to a set of soft tires. As we check the replay, and you'll see is I believe he got out ahead of Leclerc, and he is on softs. So Hamilton had to leave the race when he decided to do this strategy. Same one that I'm doing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Hamilton can get back up to the lead, or if he's too far back to do anything. Right now, it looks like if Bottas stays out, he's on the verge of winning this race, but this could come down to Hamilton and not Hamilton, it could come down to Vettel and Verstappen. And right now, Vettel has the edge over Max. So we can actually go up ahead and see those guys fighting it out. Vettel got the edge of him on that particular trip down that long straightaway. We
pitting this lap then,
know that we
coming
are
to the pits at
stopping
the end of
this
this
lap. For
Roger
soft
that,
tires.
soft tyres at the next pit stop.
Projection said we will come out P13, so it says that we are going to come out behind both, I'm guessing that's behind both AlphaTauris. And here we go, into the pits, our final stop, putting on a set of soft tires to run to the end of the race. I think points might be out of the question at this point, but we'll see what we can do. And actually, I think Bottas, the race director, Bottas also pitted for softs, so the Mercedes are going to be coming hard. And actually, Vettel,
Complete, go now.
I saw that correctly. Vettel went on hards and Verstappen went on mediums. So I would think Verstappen would have the edge if he get by
After
Vettel.
these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound.
I think Verstappen's got a good shot to win this race if he can get ahead of Vettel. I don't think hard tires are going to be good for a short stint like that. Come out right behind Pierre Gasly. And we make a great dive. Getting through that complex of corners. And we take
Let's use
12th
overtake
place.
and burn some of this energy.
So, to be fair, he's going to have DRS on us, but I think he's too far back to make a move. there you go. Just to show you the pace, Hamilton just set the fastest lap of the race, and as he is breathing down the neck of Albon for third. And I think the one who's going to be, as I hit the wall, trying to talk through Sector 3 is not a good idea at Vietnam. Into turn one. We got him. Easy as you like.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Thank you, Jeff. Now, let's see if we can get out of DRS range to be at on our better tires. I think he's got DRS now, but hopefully he can get out of that range.
Gap ahead is 6.8 seconds.
Corners here. We're 1.5 ahead. Just slap that overtake button in the rich mix. And yeah, we are pulling away. Yeah, we're outside DRS range, and we're off. As I was saying, I think Vettel's the one who's really going to get screwed here, because he's the only one of those top runners who went onto the hards to end the race. So, pour one out for Ferrari. I think they bungled the strategy on this one. I think they really bungled the strategy. Putting Vettel on the worst tire possible to end the race.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon. Increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
It's on the mini-map. Looks like Lewis Hamilton has overtaken Alexander Albon to move into third place. Incredibly easy move by Hamilton to take the lead. Vietnam Grand Prix. Soft tires are really working for us now. We are almost 3.5 seconds ahead of Daniel Kvyat. Bottas now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so he is coming fast as well. His Mercedes also on softs.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
another quick session save. Very much developing, but interesting fight for the win. Hamilton will presumably blow by Sebastian Vettel and have his sights set on Max Verstappen. Decide to win this race. Excuse me. Now, Verstappen does have medium tires, so we'll see if he can hold Hamilton off at all, or if it's going to be all for naught, and Hamilton's just going to blow by him on those soft tires. And I guess also the thing to look out for is whether those soft tires are, you know, Hamilton's going to be reaching the end of his stint right at the end of the race, whereas Verstappen, his medium tires should still be in, I guess the point I'm trying to say is I think Verstappen's going to be in better shape in those last two laps. Hamilton would have probably used up his softs by then, as will Bottas, as will I probably. So I think by the time Hamilton actually gets to Verstappen, their tires are probably going to be evenly matched, with Hamilton's, of course, wearing out a little quicker.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
I hit the wall again. There we go, that's better.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.0 seconds.
And meanwhile, Vettel, under threat from Albon.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
So they're definitely feeling Vettel's definitely feeling the effects of those hard tires. And he's wondering why the flying guys in Ferrari went with that strategy in the first place. To put him on, I mean, at least if he was on the medium tires, he would be in better shape to defend from those guys, but at least would be on equal footing with Albon. But man, they just did not get it right for Vettel at all. And as for our race, we are kind of in no man's land right now. And we are catching Sergio Perez. But I don't know if we're going to be able to catch him enough to pass him. Especially again, considering that these soft tires are going to be worn out by the time we hit the final 2 laps of the race.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
And Vettel has fallen to 5th place in this race. And I guess the question now is whether Bottas will be able to get by Albon. Hamilton and Vettel are very close, or Hamilton and Bottas are very close to their respective targets at this stage. At this point I'm thinking Hamilton might just be able to nip Verstappen on this lap coming up here and get him for the lead.
The gap to the car ahead is 2.1 seconds.
best corner there, but we'll keep going. As Lewis Hamilton has taken the lead from Max Verstappen and is running away with it right now. He's already building a gap, and it looks like that was indeed
We've got a
correct
lot of
call.
spare energy. Use your overtake
Lewis
button.
Hamilton. As he is on the verge of winning his first race of the season, making it 2 in a row for Mercedes. Meanwhile, Bottas has gotten up onto the podium. He's passed Albon. And meanwhile, for us, we are still closing on Sergio Perez. To the point, excuse me, to the point that we might nip him on the final lap for that final points-paying position. And once again, Perez might get shut out of the points for the third race in a row. Let's see if we can make anything happen, because after Tatiana caught that retirement, I definitely want to try and score some points. Definitely want to try to get as good of a finish as I can after she retired from the race. And here we go. We are in DRS range of Sergio Perez.
This is your final lap of the race.
Can we score a single solitary point in this race and shut out and deny Sergio Perez his first points of the entire season? Still young in the season, but still, again, Perez not having points yet is very much a surprise. I think on this long straight we caught him at just the right time. And we're going to have a big run on Sergio Perez. It's half a second, it's barely half a second ahead, but we are closing, and DRS is activated. Lewis Hamilton wins the Vietnam Grand Prix, the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix. As Perez leaves the space open, we're going to go to the inside, and he will be denied points once again. He will be denied points once again. His finishing position, Max car number 11. As we will go on, score a single and make it through these last complex corners, and not let Perez slip back by. And we got decent points in Australia. Got mega points.
Burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
And here in Vietnam, we're gonna get 10th place. It's 10th place, but it's a point, so we'll take it.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Kevin Magnussen gets driver of the day.
Plenty of action here in Hanoi. A memorable race and an impressive victory. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Albon gets his first points of the season.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation. That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed. And a good job in traffic as well. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it, but I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate, so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Did Anthony Davidson give driver of the day to both Hamilton and Bottas? I thought that's what I heard, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, not only did that blunder of a strategy call to put Vettel on hards at the end cost him a good finish in this race, but it cost him the points lead, as Lewis Hamilton now moves ahead by 2 over Vettel. Yeah, what can you say? Ferrari did not do the job today. Did not give him a good result at all, or a good choice of tire at the end when he needed it. And apologies if that cut out, I'm just taking pictures of the results here. And yeah, we had a good run. Obviously the choice of going softs at the end there was good. And we nipped Perez on the final lap, or on the second to last lap, can't remember now, to take 10th place and get 1 point. Which, I will gladly take that.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
I don't remember hitting anything.
Appreciate your time.
I think it's really annoying when they ask those questions. But still a good weekend for us. At least for me, not necessarily for Calderon per se. Cash, 157,000. We got 4 interview questions in, so obviously we're good there. Slight deductions because of damage related issues. And we are at 1 million exactly. And I'm sure we'll gain a little bit more cash as we earn the sponsor payments week to week. Alright, so we got a couple days. Time for activities. I'm actually going to take this time to... Ooh, we have a new sponsor. That's good. That's more money for us. I'm actually going to take this time to get a driver park, which I probably should have done earlier. I think I'm going to go with power mapping, just so that the engine wear will be reduced by 10%. I think that's a good one to go with on that, so we will get one of those. In sponsorship, we have a new sponsor opportunity. Let's see what we got here. Hmm. Next race is China. This is an interesting choice here. I think we'll go with, actually, let's see, sorting. Actually, I think this one isn't too bad. As a team, complete a total of 50 laps during the race weekend. I think that's something that's very doable for us. Because I think there's one that has 75 laps. If I can find it. I would love to go with Atlantic, but I feel like this is going to be a little more difficult because, again, that depends on the amount of laps. Double check here. Just curious to see how many laps are in the Chinese Grand Prix. Because Atlantic might actually be a good one to go with. So the Chinese Grand Prix full distance is 56 laps. And that should be a 28 lap race. Which means if myself and Tatiana complete all the laps in the race, we should have come out to 56. And then, you know what, I'm going to gamble, I'm going to go on Atlantic. I think we can get 75 during a Grand Prix weekend. Go with Atlantic. It's a bit risky, but I think we can do it. Go to customization, and we'll add that sponsor on the car. Kind of like having Shark on that area of the car right there. There we go. I think that looks pretty good if you ask me. Atlantic. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I would say. Now we go to activities. I think what we're gonna go with, we are going to do chassis equipment upgrade. Right there. And then we'll go do some G-force training for our teammate. And then we'll visit sponsor headquarters to get some team acclaim. Filling up the schedule quite nicely, no messages. Now we do have upgrades coming. Oh, and we've had some of them fail. I only just saw that now. Both components that were supposed to come failed to come in, which is just wonderful. And we don't have the resource points quite to get them, which is also great news. And by great, I mean bad. It's bad news. Oh, not the best way to end, but we'll take it what we can get, I guess.
We're in a position now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team. Head over to the corporate tab and select the sponsors screen to choose who we should approach.
And I guess I'll go with the invitational event. Because that'll get us some money, as well as I think some acclaim as well. I think it's money and acclaim that you get from doing these things, which is good. Gives the invitational events some purpose. Which I'm not gonna complain about.
Here we are then, the calm.
Checkpoint challenge should be fairly easy. Driving the Red Bull, 2010 Red Bull around Zandvoort. This challenge, 7.8 kilometers. I think that's pretty much 2 laps. Nice and easy. Really liked Jaguar after driving a couple races on it. It's really a roller coaster of a racetrack, especially through the first half of the course. Yep, and we are just about on the verge of leading the target distance. And now it's just a matter of finishing out the challenge. Gladly take that money and that acclaim. Always use a little bit of extra money. And once I get through the rest of the calendar and actually get to the Chinese Grand Prix, that'll be it for this one. As it continues to load.
Is getting pretty low. We may need to shut down facilities for a while to cut down our running costs.
I don't think we need to do that. I think we're in great shape, actually. We're just under $1 million. Yeah, see, Carl, you were too worried. Now we're up to $1.44 million. Nothing to worry about. So I think for the next time, let's see, at 420, I should be able to get one of those parts taken care of as far as upgrading it, but we'll see. Alright, so that's this week's, or this, today's, or this, episode.